Hey everyone, it's Caleb here with Twin Agates, and today we're actually going to be doing an agate cleaning video. It's a little bit different than our out in the field videos, but I figured we've been getting a few comments and I thought I would address them on how we clean our agates, how we make them look nicer like you see in the shorts. So I decided to get a few of our dirtiest agates together and show you our process. The ones you're going to see today have already been pre-soaked, so we soak them in just regular dish soap and vinegar for a couple of hours and then scrub them. And that's kind of the cleaning process before we put them in the iron out, which you'll see in a little bit. So quickly, I'm going to go through some of the agates that we're going to be cleaning today. Feel free to leave a comment if you have a different way of cleaning your agates that you'd maybe like to see us try in the future. I know I've heard some people use CLR and other cleaning products. So just leave those below in the comments and let us know. I hope you enjoy. So here are the agates we're going to be cleaning today. As you can see, some of them look a little bit more clean than the others. They've already maybe been through one cycle of iron out. So I don't like to do iron out for more than a couple of hours. I've heard people say you can leave it in for 24 hours. I don't personally like to risk my agates just because I don't want to ruin them on accident. You can leave them in iron out for too long. I've heard people bleach their agates or just ruin them completely. But what we want to accomplish from soaking them in that iron out and scrubbing them after would be to get rid of this dirt. Like in this one specifically, it's got dirt in the quartz, a little bit up here that didn't come off in the pre-scrubbing. Same with this one, it's just dirty all around. We want to see those bands and the colors pop in these agates. So cleaning them will help with that. And a couple like this one, it's just dirt. And all those cracks that we can't really get with a brush. So it'll help loosen that up or get rid of it. And some we just want to see become even more bright. This one, not very dirty, but could definitely use a little bit more cleaning. So today we're going to soak these for about 7 hours. We're going to look at them after, scrub them, and then possibly soak them in soap and vinegar once more before we oil them. And I'll show that whole process. Oh, this is a great one. You can see that there's something on there. I'm not sure, but look at that polish. That one's going to be beautiful when it's all clean. We also have this giant 2-pound agate that we're going to be cleaning today. We scrubbed it, we cleaned it, and we're just hoping that we can see a little bit more detail once it comes out of the iron out and get rid of some of this yellowing in the quartz. But yep, this is a 2-pound agate found in Minnesota. So hopefully that'll come out looking even more beautiful. And then we have a few non-agates that we found in the field that we just want to see cleaned up. Here's one of them. We are pretty sure this is jasper with some pseudomorph, which is that almost like triangular pattern in this rock. I just want to see how that'll look cleaned up, as well as this big quartz ball and this piece of what we think is also jasper. It just helps us get a little bit better of a look at what these rocks actually are. Like it could be chalcedony or cold water agate. We don't know. And then this larger agate in host, we recently found in the field. Hopefully we'll clean that up and see a little bit more detail. So today we're going to be using the powdered form of iron out. Typically we use about half a cup per gallon of hot water. I know some people use more, less. I like to go a little more conservative when it comes to iron out just because I don't want to ruin the rocks on accident. And like I said, we'll be soaking them for about 7 hours in hot water. You want to make sure it's hot water because if you use cold water, the iron out might not dissolve in there. So we usually get this big bottle so you can do a couple batches. And it does go pretty fast, so maybe buy 2. It's totally up to you depending on how many rocks you're going to be cleaning. We just have that small, maybe 3 gallons of water we're going to be using in our bucket. So now we're going to go put this in the water. We're going to mix it really well so none of that iron out sticks to the rocks, and we're going to show you the results after the first and possibly second bath of iron out. It's not going to turn out perfectly every time, so sometimes you have to do 2 or 3 baths depending on how long your iron out baths last. I know some people have said they leave it in for like 24 hours, but I like to keep an eye on my rocks, so I don't typically do it for that long. So we'll see you soon. So we have started adding our rocks to the iron out. This is going to take a little bit, but usually I don't add this much liquid, or I'll add more rocks to it if I have them, but today it's just a small batch. And I usually do this outside because it smells really bad and it's not exactly safe to do inside. So I would definitely recommend taking this outside if you have that opportunity. And now we'll let these sit. We'll see you in 7 hours. So, I got this batch of agates out of that 7-hour long iron out bath. As you can see on this one, there's still some staining over here. There's still some yellow. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a second iron out bath. Sometimes the first one just isn't enough if you're not leaving it in there for a long time. And sometimes it's the perfect amount. This one, it was completely yellow in here. I guess a little dusty looking. This one won't need a second iron out bath, but this is kind of that nice white quartz that you want to achieve from that iron out. Same with this one here. So now that those are done, they will be left out on this next batch. Ones like this that still look a little dirty, but are looking better for sure. We'll be getting another iron out bath like that first one. Now I'm not going to show you all of them, but I'll show you a few. I'm not really sure what the sparkly stuff on here is. I think that's soap. I have to get that off. But as you can see, they are starting to look a little better. The grime is coming off of there and there. It's a little more clear, the bands on the top. And this one specifically had a huge transformation. Before this was completely black. I think I showed it off at the beginning, and I'll put a little clip here if I didn't. If you don't remember, but this is just night and day. You can see all those dark, I don't know what it was on there, it's just gone, and it's just bands now, beautiful bands. So this is what we're hoping to achieve with the rest of them, just showing off those unique features and cleaning them up. And this one, this 2-pounder that we were looking at, looks fantastic already. Look at the side over here. A lot less yellow. And when it's wet, you can really see those bands coming out. So this is banded. It might not look like it now, but this is going to go back in. We're going to continue to clean it. And even the non-agates that we were talking about are starting to look a little better. Not really sure what we're going to do with these after, but probably just hold on to them and maybe cut them down the line. There's still some dirt, but they're so unique. Like this big quartz chunk that I'm curious to see what's on the inside. So after they came out of the iron out, they were soaked in soap and vinegar once again for a few hours. They were scrubbed, and then they're getting ready for another iron out bath, and we will show you the result after. It'll probably be about another 7 hours in the bath. So the second round of iron out is all done, and as you can see, the agates are starting to look a little bit more clean or bright in color. Some of them are not quite completely done being cleaned, so they might have to go through a second treatment. Maybe I've been reading around a little bit. Possibly CLR or citric acid might clean off some of these dirtier agates. But some of these really cleaned up well. This one specifically, as you can see, there are quite a lot of bands showing on this one now. The colors are brighter. It's still a little dusty looking, but once we apply oil, it's going to look beautiful. So in total, these agates stayed in there for about 14 hours, 2 different 7-hour soaks. And you can see in this one, there's still some dirt. Like I mentioned, they might need to go through another treatment of some sort just to get that dirt out of there. After they came out of the iron out, we soaked them in soap and vinegar for another couple hours. This one, I'm not sure if I showed this before, but none of that quartz was actually showing right here. It's all dark. And so we're gonna oil all these up. I'll show a few more. And then show you the final product. And I will show you what mineral oil we use here in just a second. But you only really need to put a little bit on there and then rub it around on it and dry it off. But just so you know, applying oil is really messy. So if you haven't done it before, I suggest doing it on a place that's easy to clean up. If you do it on a counter, soap is an easy way to remove the oil from the countertop or whatever you're applying on. That's just regular dish soap. See, this one, it's still a little dirty, but it's getting a lot cleaner already. And that's partially from the scrubbing with the soap and the vinegar and the iron out together. So this one, as you can see, this one's also still a little bit dirty. But as time goes on and we continue to clean these, they will turn out great. So we also have this, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this 2-pound Lake Superior agate. It is looking a lot better. That quartz is a lot whiter, brighter, and we will be applying oil to this one as well. We debated whether or not we wanted to because there is some what's called chalky paint. We think that could ruin the color, but I think it's worth the risk because when it was wet, there are tubes and bands, and it just looks amazing. So we'll show you the finished oiled product of this in just a second. But I wanted to show you some of these non-agates that went through the iron out. Some of them, like this, don't look too much different. We won't be oiling this one. It just looks cleaner. This one also just looks a little bit brighter. We think this is some kind of jasper or chalcedony mix. Not really sure. If you know, leave a comment and let us know what you think. And this one. So not every rock is going to look amazing after you iron out it. Some of them might look exactly the same, but it just got a little bit of that dirt that we wanted out of there. And this one we actually added in at the last second, so it wasn't in the recording. Look at that beautiful, beautiful jasper. Beautiful bands. Not sure the specific kind, but just amazing. So now that the iron out is all done, the rocks have been soaked and scrubbed, we are going to be using the food grade mineral oil. Now, I've heard people use baby oil. I've heard that actually can ruin the rocks, so I would just recommend using food grade and only food grade mineral oil if you're going to be oiling your rocks. You could soak them for a few hours, a few days, and that'll keep that shine lasting longer. We are just gonna rub it on there today and then wipe off the extra oil and see what it looks like after just one quick oiling, which I always am surprised with how nice they look after just a little bit of oil. So let's go see the results. Now I know there are plenty of different ways to clean and display your agates, so please let us know down in the comments how you like to clean and display agates, and we might make a future video possibly exploring different paths of cleaning, different ways of sprucing them up, maybe with some kind of oil, or eventually we'll be polishing agates. But we really hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like and subscribe, and let us know which one of these agates was your favorite before and after. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed.